Alright, we live. And I'm only using one computer screen, which is why you get to see everything behind the scenes, like OBS, YouTube, and of course Premiere, what we'll be playing here today. Alright, let me know if you guys can hear me, and it looks like my audio input is going in there. Let's see if my desktop audio is going in. I think this clip. Let's try this clip. No. This clip. This clip has audio. Couple of bouncing bars there. Looks like desktop audio is good as well. So I am just going to go under the assumption that I'm streaming. People are on and watching, and everybody's having a great time. And if you want to say hi, I would like you to say hi, so please jump in the chat. I've got it open next to me on my phone here, so I'm able to monitor everything. Audio's working. Thanks, RK. Alright, let's jump right into it. I'm going to make a video here. This is sourdough bread. I shot this one yesterday with, well, I shot it kind of over the course of a couple of days, I think. Disregard the fact that I'm wearing the same shirt in every one. But I think what I did was shot the majority of it yesterday, and then now I'm going to cut it all together, and then it'll come out on Monday. Wow, we've got chat blowing up. On average, how long does it take for you to edit your videos? Okay, so if you, Alyssa Flores asks that question, and if you watched the last stream, which was like 2 weeks ago, I think, that was the bean video that I did, that stream was about an hour long, and I'd have to say that that's... I guess laying everything down here on the timeline takes about an hour, but then I do a couple of things afterwards. Color grading, audio correction, and stuff like that. I didn't get into any of that 2 weeks ago when I did that stream, just because I thought that it's kind of boring, honestly. I mean, this is arguably boring as well, just watching me put stuff down on the timeline. But audio editing, it's a lot of just me like going back over and over and over again, listening to the same bits of audio and taking out like little clips and hissing noises and things like that. Hi everybody, there's like tons of people in here in the chat. Vinny Fazio's here! And Andrew Loudon's here, and Tom Guile is here. I know all these people. Have you been cooking more lately? That was asked by Irsai. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Weren't you here last stream? I can't remember. I'm having these vague memories. I have been cooking a lot more lately, like every day, because I am working from home now with my current gig, and it's just leading to a lot of like, all right, time for lunch. Well, I can actually just make my lunch from scratch right now. So it's been a lot of that, and I actually really am enjoying myself.
Hi Andrew, I hope you like the stream. We're going to make a video.
That's my strong bad impression. All right, so I'm gonna start out on this wide shot here. This is my 14mm lens that I was just thinking about yesterday about how I really like this lens, but I do kind of think that there are some things about the lens that could be better, so I'm thinking about getting a new one. I also want it to match all my other Rokinon lenses. This is the only lens that I own that is a different make and model. This is a Bauer lens, which I think it might be owned by Rokinon, which is where all my other lenses are from, but I'm not entirely sure. Regardless, it looks nice and I like it. So I'm going to do a cut on action here. So this is actually going to be the second shot in this sequence where we're going to see me going to, there's my sourdough starter. Let's drop that on the timeline. And then let's show you what that cut on action was going to be. This shot right here of the starter actually going in. So this will be the first shot of the video. Excuse me. And I'll put that silently cooking graphic over that, which actually I can show you that right now. No, actually, you know what? Since the logo is going to be on this, I do want this to be about 10 seconds. So I'm going to have, I still want that cut on action, so I don't want to see those drips. You see right here on this shot here, why that, oh, there we go. So on this shot here, this is the sourdough going into this, this bowl here. And so I've got this stream of the starter coming in. I don't want it to get to the drips, otherwise it won't really match the action. So I'm going to have my out point there. That gives us a 7-second clip, which I think I'm going to want to be a little bit longer because, like I said, I'm going to put the logo over this. I like that to be around 10 seconds. Let's try it at 7, though. Maybe it'll move a little bit quicker, and maybe that might actually be a better thing. Let's drop that into the timeline, delete that little cut there. So the video starts out with sourdough going in. That's 100 grams of sourdough starter, and then it cuts to this wide shot. Yeah, that works. All right, so I was talking about the logo that was going to go over that. So over here in my, can I make that bigger? I can. All right, so this is where I keep all my media, and I keep everything organized into, here's my video folder, which has all my video in it. And this I call my graphics folder, GFX. I've got this black video. Here's some orange video, which is the exact orange that I use for silently cooking. I've got whatever this is, and then somewhere in here, here it is, 4K silently cooking logo animated with an alpha matted background. So it's got this black background that's going to be translucent when I put it over the video, like so. So I just kind of drop that right onto this second timeline here, and then I'm gonna drop this down. Anthony Falicaro, actually I'm gonna vote for you for president. Unless you want me to be president and then you could be my VP. I'm down for that if you want. And you all should go check out Anthony Falicaro's YouTube page right now. Well, okay, hold on. Not right now. No, we're going to wait until this is all done. And you guys are going to have a great time. Then go check out Anthony Falicaro's music. And you might see a couple of videos that yours truly actually helped him shoot. I'm drinking coffee while I'm doing this because I'm trying to keep my energy up. Silently cooking, definitely not known for high energy. That's why I don't even know why I'm on YouTube to begin with. This is looking a little hard to read, so I might try and put a drop shadow or something on that. So I have two processes that I go through in adding in this silently cooking logo here. One of them is I have this 4K animated logo that I just drop over to it. So it's just this it's an MOV file that I just drop on top. Otherwise, I will actually bring it into After Effects. I don't want to do that on the stream, though, just because I really suck at After Effects. I'm not very good at all, and so it would be very, very sad just to watch me limping through After Effects. So this is just something that I dropped on there. I'll play with this a little bit more later on, but we have the animated waves on the logo here. It's going to cut to that. Like I said, this text, this contrast here is no good. I've got white text with some, I mean, this is good contrast over here, but right here it's not good at all. So I will fix that, but I'm going to do it later. No, Vinny, no! Don't scare them away! I need them to stay with me. How's everybody doing in the quarantine? Vinny, Anthony, how you guys doing holding up inside all day? Tom, how are you doing, buddy? If I don't answer what? If I don't answer my question, oh no, I'm getting really worried now. We may actually have a saboteur on the stream with us. What's your question, Tom? Oh, what's your favorite and least favorite condiment? Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise. I'm sorry, Tom, I didn't see your question there. Whatever it is that you were going to do, don't do it. My favorite is mayonnaise. My least favorite... Am I going to be un-American if I say that it's ketchup? I mean, ketchup is kind of boring. No, I like ketchup. I can't say that it's ketchup. Everybody else comment. Comment on what your favorite condiment is and start a war. You guys argue amongst yourselves while I edit this video. Alright, so all of this is going to happen in the same shot. So I'm going to go into... How's Israel treating you in quarantine? I hope you guys are doing all right over there. We are so in New York over here, still walking around and, you know, walking the dog and things like that. I'm not really stuck in my house. However, you know, I haven't really left my house for like 2 weeks straight. And when I do leave, I put on a mask that I fashioned out of some old curtains and butcher's twine. Let's see here. If you are currently watching from other countries, I would like to know how you guys are doing. I hope everybody's doing okay, staying safe and staying sane. And I'll try to entertain everybody as much as I can while I edit this video. This is all going to be... Ooh, that was a good little... Look at that little clap there. Yeah, let's drop that on the timeline. I like that. This is super long, though. We are at 34 seconds, and 3 clips have been put down here. That's a no good, so we're going to cut this up a little bit. All right, I'm not afraid of jump cuts, just like every other YouTuber in the world. Because, like in this here I am measuring this bread flour. So this is a recipe that I've got for my own sourdough. I make this, I make it like every 3 days. So usually I do it with regular yeast, but because everybody's going crazy and hoarding toilet paper and yeast and flour, I can't really get my hands on yeast, so I started up sourdough starter again, which is this over here in the background in this little container here. So all that this is just a little bit of bread flour and a little bit of water, equal parts by weight, so around like 100 grams of bread flour, 100 grams of water. And then I just leave it in a jar. The next day I dump out about half and then add 50 grams of bread flour and 50 grams of water. Every single day I do that process. I kind of dump out half and give it more flour and water, and then that promotes the natural yeast to grow and populate, and I make my sourdough bread with that. So this sourdough bread starts out with 100 grams of the starter, which is that gooey stuff that you saw going in. Then there's 400 grams of bread flour, and then there is 285 grams of water, which you'll see in a minute. And I'm going to cut right here. I'm going to cut, oh, nope, not all of that. I'm going to cut all of that out and get this last shot of the flour going in. I take out a little bit. Boom, perfect. Okay, now let's cut to that. Let's cut to that hand clapping as I got the flour off my hands. Now we're going to add the salt. So like I said, it was 400 grams of flour. It was 285 grams of water. This here is 10 grams of salt. I'll probably shorten that up a little bit after the stream. Here's the water going in. That's 295 grams of water, and then stir it all up with 2 chopsticks. I'm just doing jump cuts here. This is all one shot, and nothing really too fancy. This is 30 seconds. I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna tighten this up later on once I'm off the stream. In Israel, we're doing okay here. Happy that our government is not oblivious to the situation. That's good. I'm glad that you guys are doing safe over there. Let's see here. Tom got him. Tom, you did get me. Andrew, are you taking DJ requests? I mean, I have a piano in my room here, so yes, I am taking DJ requests. Let's see. Jealous of people in countries with a comprehensive government response. Yeah, we're doing all right over here, I think. In New York, we're doing all right. In the country, we're doing fine, I guess. Yeah, we're doing fine. Let's get back to sourdough. All right, so after my sourdough comes together here, there's a lot of people on the stream. Thanks for joining in. I'll try and keep this moving as quickly as possible and as entertaining as possible. I don't really know if I like this shot very much. I'm just gonna... so this is me illustrating that I'm using my fingers to just kind of take those chopsticks out of the dough. That's fine. I'll drop that in there. I've got like 5 different shots of me wetting my hands. Because that's the thing with this dough. Every single time you handle it, you want to wet your hands. Because it is a sticky, 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 sticky dough. Now, somewhere in here I've got a whole bunch of shots of me wetting my hands. Here we go. Here's one. Let's just use this one here. And like I said, I mean, I'm going to go back and I'm going to change all this up once we're done with the stream. I'm trying to, like, keep it moving, keep entertaining at the same time. All right. Hey, let's take a look at what we got so far. So we've got the sourdough coming in. All right. The food surgeon just said hi to me. I'm not even joking. He just sent me a comment, and I said, "Hey, wait, there you are! You're back, food surgeon. Good to see ya." Man, I haven't seen you in, like, years. I hope life is treating you well, and I hope that quarantine is treating you well as well. Hey, buddy. I see your wave. Let's see here. The doctor is in the house. And see, it's not just me on a separate phone. On a separate account. Food surgeon, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but I very, very often get the comment, "Hey, are you the food surgeon?" I am not. My videos are nowhere near as good as yours, sir. I like yours a lot. I am actually a big fan of your stuff, and I hope that you're doing well. Let's see here. What else comes next on this here? Oh, what makes you cut up the video so tightly? Do you consider yourself as an impatient person? Yeah, most definitely. Especially when it comes to video content. That's a really great comment and question. So, yeah, I think that I am impatient as a person. But I also believe that it's important to keep things, well, at least in my brand, it's important to keep things moving as quickly as possible. Hold on a second. Boom. That's what I do with Silently Cooking. You know, it's all about quick cuts. And I'm trying to just keep things moving. There's another one out there called Peaceful Cuisine. I don't know if anybody's heard of that one. That's a really nice, like, slow-moving, very almost meditative kind of video making. Whoever does those is just a really fantastic videographer, and I'm a big fan of their work. I'm not, you know, that's just not my style. I like to go as quick as possible because I want to get to the point, you know, which is, you know, kind of the opposite of what a lot of things are on the internet. All right, let's see here. So we've got a pretty good sequence here. Oh, and if you mentioned here, sorry, if you noticed here, I wasn't really talking about it as I was cutting it, but I bring this dough together. So here's all the shots of me bringing the dough together, right? It's just the same static shot with a bunch of jump cuts in between of me bringing this dough together. I stir it with 2 chopsticks. I wet my hands really good, and then I take the excess dough off of the chopsticks, and then I cover it with plastic wrap, cut off that plastic wrap, and then I just put it right in the fridge. Do I have me taking this out? Let's put that in there and see if it works. I might cut it out later. And then a shot of me putting it in the fridge. And then this is, you know, take a look at this dough here. It's just super shaggy, you know? It's not, this dough needs to be kneaded, you know? There's probably hardly any gluten in this dough, and it's all kind of weird and gooey. This is just how I do it. I am a lazy, impatient human being, and so I honestly just don't like kneading dough. So I just bring a dough together until it barely comes together. I put it in the fridge for, like, you know, a couple of days, and then that forms the gluten naturally. And then you'll see actually what I do here. So it's like got this weird rocky structure on it, which it doesn't look appealing at all, right? So I put it in the fridge, which is this shot right here. I need to think of a more creative way to do this. Let's have it right here where it's starting to come into the shot. Boom. Close the door. I'm going to put some text on the door here that says, like, let it rest for a couple hours. I will do that in After Effects, and I ain't going to do it here because I'm not very, like I said, I'm not very good at After Effects. So then we'll have this one come back in. I take it back out after a couple hours. And then I just kind of wet my hands again, which, let's see, where did I put those shots of me wetting my hands? Let's see here. I think they're way down here. I think I already used that one. This one's pretty good. That was a long one. Right there. Okay, drop that on the timeline. So after I let it rest for like an hour, I take it out again. And then now I gotta find. So I'm bouncing around here, as you can see. I did not shoot this in order. I shot it very much out of order. I was using a dough that was like 3 days old, and this dough that you see here. So as I'm shooting this of me bringing the dough together, I was actually proving the dough in my little miniature oven in the other end of the room there. Peaceful Cuisine has some of the most fabulous shots. Yeah, I totally agree. Let's see. Question for you in the chat. Favorite bread? I have to say this one. I mean, like, maybe not sourdough. I think just bread that the only ingredients are just water, flour, yeast, salt are my favorite breads. And baked right, that is definitely my favorite bread. And I like a high hydration dough, so like a dough with a lot of water in it, which is what I do with this dough here. So far this is coming together kind of nicely. What's the goal of my channel? Hobby or aiming for other goals? This is a hobby. This is a lot of fun for me. I just love making these videos. But this isn't my job, my full-time job. I'll say I'm more of a corporate content producer. So I make videos for a living. I'm a videographer by trade. Also do photography and very, very, very simple motion animation as well. But I create video content for the company that I work for. I used to be working in local news. I was a local news photographer, but ever since I've gotten out of college, I've been working in media. But silent cooking is just a way for me to essentially practice my craft and have a lot of fun while I do it. And that is literally the only goal. Let's see. So after I take it out of the fridge, plop, rip that off, and then I get my hands in there. Do I do that in this shot? I don't. Let's go to the next shot. Here we go. This is a, oh yeah, there we go. So after, no, this isn't right. This is later on. Oh boy, I should be more prepared for this. That's an interesting sound. I don't like this. I want to find... There's another shot in here. It might be near the end. This is where I'm baking the bread. No, that's not it. Let's go back a little bit here. This is the starter. That's me putting that in there. That's me putting that old shaggy dough in. Is this where I took it out? No, that's not right. That's not that shaggy dough. Did I not shoot that? Oh, maybe it's still... That's me taking the dough and doing that. Oh, well, this is embarrassing. I done lost my footage. I don't really know where it is. Because this is the dough after it's been proving. That's me tightening it up. And then this is me putting it on paper. Okay, I might have to actually reshoot something, but that's okay. Let's just move on from here. All right, so I put this dough down. I gotta wet my hands really well. So after I prove it... Oh, or did I shoot that first? Bake. No, that ain't right. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna have to go look for this a little bit later. Let's see here. I think this video should be a music video for that song. Which song, Andrew Loudon, are you talking about here? Let's see here. Alright, I take it out of the fridge. I'm going to cut this shot out and come back to it later. Wet my hands, get this nice wet dough in there, punch it down. So after I put it in the fridge for a whole, like, I don't know, I leave mine in the fridge for days. I take it out, I'm going to punch it down a whole bunch, and then I wet my hands nice and good. I'm going to form it into a ball, which is this shot right here. Okay, right after that hits into the bowl, I'll stop. There we go. Form it into a ball, drop that down the timeline, and move on. All right, so that goes into the bowl. I take out this bench here. Drop that down, put a little bit of parchment paper on it. Okay, cut the parchment paper, which is going to be a different shot. I think I had a hard time cutting this. Oh no, that looks pretty good. Let's start it right there. Yeah, so after you Jackie Chan the dough, then you are going to put some flour into it. So this is after you punch it down Jackie Chan style, you form it into a ball, and then you just kind of take some more flour, whoop, and dump it right on in there. Okay, and then coat the whole thing in flour. So see this? This is a super duper wet dough, but it's completely coated in flour, so it's not going to stick to your hands. Then you're just going to take that out and put it on that parchment paper and form it into the loaf that you want. So here I am. Let's see. I took it out of the bowl there. Right there. That sounds good. I just roll it around until it gets coated in flour. Take it out. Boom. Cut it right there. Drop it onto that parchment paper, which is the next shot. So like let's say right there, right? So this shot here, it looks like I'm kind of matching where I am in this shot here. I'm pointing at the screen like with my finger, as if you guys can see this. All right, so let's drop this down right here. Then I kind of just form it into a ball. I'm gonna cut that right there. And then I'm gonna cut to this shot here where I just kind of show my, my process for shaping. 3, 2. Okay, I'm going to rewind this a little bit. Shows me shaping that up a little bit. Drop that right down. All right, we have got about a minute of video here, so let's see what it looks like so far. All right, opening up with the sourdough starter coming into the bowl with the logo on top. Cut to this wide shot. All right, and then there's going to be some jump cuts in this shot of me just adding flour. I'm going to have to color grade this a little bit too. That flour looks a little bright, and there's probably not a lot of information in there, so I'm going to have to get in there. Tom Guile saw me pointing. You in my house? All right, get your nice shaggy dough. Wrap that up. Put it into fridge, close the door, and leave it for a couple of days. Okay, actually, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to stop. And what I'm going to do is, right after I shut the door on this, I'm actually going to do something pretty cool. So fear not, something cool is actually going to happen, finally. You've been watching for like 20 minutes, now it's going to pay off. All right, in here, I'm actually going to put in this other shot over here. So this is something that I made in After Effects. This shot right here, this is the raw shot that we're looking at, where I come in here, I put it in the fridge, I close the door, and then I've got that text that's on there on the shot. So I made this in After Effects, and I'm telling you essentially rest the dough for 24 to 72 hours. So I started putting in lower thirds and silently cooking after a couple of years of doing this. But this is something kind of new that I've never really done before, actually putting on some like, I don't know, like more three-dimensional text. So not just lower thirds that show up down here, actually putting something as if it's on the refrigerator here. So my last shot was this one where I was closing the fridge. So let's stop it right there as that door is closing. And then we'll hold here. Boom. And like I said before, I don't want to build this in After Effects on the stream just because I really suck at After Effects. Let's see how this looks. So I take this out, put it in the fridge, close the door, decent cut on action there, and then we've got that lower third. Yeah, that's exactly it. Until I want bread, I just leave it in the refrigerator until I want bread. And this bread, for example, was in my fridge for like 3 days. I've got a dough in my fridge right now, and once I run out of bread, I take my bread out in the morning. I prove it in the oven to warm it up from the cold of the refrigerator, and then I just start making bread. Actually, you know what? Let's show that little sequence right there. So I just mentioned about how I take my bread out of the refrigerator and put it in my little tiny oven to prove. So let's show that. Let's get to the shot of me taking bread out. Let's use... This is like one of the first things I shot. Okay, so right here. Oh boy. Right when the fridge opens. Right when my hand comes in. That's where I want to start the shot. Alright. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's this gross... Sounded like my microphone was all iffy. I might need to buy a new microphone. It really sucks. Alright, let's start it here. And I can always go back and fix this later. Yeah, I can hear some static on my microphone. I'm not really sure if you guys can hear it. I'm going to cut this shot right when the bread leaves the frame. Because all this, the door closing, oh, that's boring. I don't want to see that. Alright, I'm going to drop that right in my timeline there. And then I'm going to do this little sequence here showing that I turn on my oven for 45 seconds. Same thing, right when my finger hits the button, beep. And then I'm going to show... Oh, that's the sound of my oven turning on. I'll edit that in later. Once this gets to 45. So I leave it on for 45 seconds. Okay. Okay, wet my hands. And then I put the dough in the oven, which is this shot right here. So this is my ultra wide lens, and I'm standing like right behind the camera. Let's cut it right there. You can see me in the reflection. Okay, boom, put that right there. Okay, so now we've got a couple of changes in time in here. So right here, because I'm advocating in the recipe to wait for like 24 to 72 hours, so I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to put in a cross dissolve to show the passage of time. Classic cross dissolve. Cut. I'm done after that says 43. I'm bored of that shot. I'm deleting it. Let's see how this flows. Have you ever made sourdough pancakes? No, I've not. I would totally do that. Andrew, you want to come over and make sourdough pancakes and get Corona with me? If anybody wants to come over to my house and make food and get Corona, that would be irresponsible of us, but I would do it. Alright, this is moving pretty well so far. And this is just a rough draft that I'm kind of trying to throw together here just because, you know, I also want to talk to people in the stream. Yeah, that looks alright. Yeah, look at that. I just do a ball, you know, because this is going to be going into a Dutch oven. So I just form it into the shape of a ball. So I get a round loaf of bread. Alright, so that was me proving the dough in the oven. I've got shots of here and with me refeeding my starter. It's actually kind of a complex video to do a stream on. But hey, I'm having fun. And I hope you guys are having fun too. If you're not, let me know. And I will cry silently in the corner. Oh, this is a better... Oh, look at that. That's a better ball. Let's use this shot. That's right. I forgot that I did this twice. Look at that. That's a nice round ball. Yeah, there we go. That's a lot better. Cover over the last shot. The last shot was garbage. Now this. Look at that. That's a nice round ball. Hand washing after the oven necessary. So, Mr. Vincent Fazio, great question. I was hoping somebody would ask about that. In all of these shots, I'm actually not washing my hands. I am just wetting my hands. So because this dough is such high hydration, you just got to really wet your hands before you handle the dough at all. Otherwise, it's going to stick to your hands. You're just going to have dough all over your hands. So I don't know if you can kind of see it while I'm Jackie Chan martial arts karateing this dough here. Like, I got some wet hands. Look at those wet hands. So I'm not really washing my hands, just wetting them. I think that was what you were talking about, Vinny. If it wasn't, then I apologize. You should wash your hands. I wash my hands probably way too much. My hands are disgustingly dry. But I don't have Corona. Okay, that's looking good. Let's keep moving here. Hey, Vinny, you got any good YouTube videos on your channel that I should go watch? Vinny Fazio, very accomplished and attractive gentleman. Thanks for joining the chat. Wet hands should be a new meme. If you guys want to gif that little shot, where was that? You want to turn this into a gif, go for it. I think this would make a good gif. Let's see here. Let's see. So after I coat it in flour and form it into a ball, I'm just gonna cover it with a towel. I actually got a little sequence here, where here's me, whoop, cover it with a towel. And actually, I want that to go pretty quick because the shot before that is a very tight shot. You'll see. And I'm going to do another cross dissolve in there because I'm showing the passage of time. And I did a shot of me simply grabbing a, whatchamacallit, towel. There it is. There's my pantry. And let's use this shot of me grabbing this towel. Whoop. Right there. Whoop. Okay. Form that ball. Grab that towel. Let's see how this flows. Yeah, the ASMR fans are really going to love that one. Look at that. Whoop. Okay, so that has way too much space after I grab the towel. That needs to be cut. And I do this naturally. I just kind of feel when I want it to stop. And I want it to stop right there. That's cutting the video in about half. See how it works now. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, so now I'm going to have the cross dissolve in there, and I'm going to go for the next one. 10 viewers right now. Wow, this is nice. This is more than last time. A lot of people chatting it up with me over here. I really appreciate it. Oh, and as that is rising under the towel there, I'm going to cut this together later. I just can't do it while I'm in the chat. So I've got this little sequence here of me feeding the starter. So basically what I'll tell you right now is after that shot of essentially taking this super wet dough and coating it in flour, so like this shot right here where I coat the dough in flour, you're left with a lot of flour in the pan. right? So there it was at the end of this shot here. That's a lot of flour. So actually what I do is I kind of recycle that and I feed my starter with it. So that way you're not wasting the flour. So I dump that into my starter and I weigh it out when I do it. So I put my starter on this little scale here. I put that flour on a little piece of parchment paper here. And then I just kind of, you know, dump out all that flour, which doesn't look like much, but there was about 20 grams there. And then I put that on a scale, and then I dump in all that bread flour. And then once I see how much it weighs, then I throw in the equal amount of water. Because remember I said this, my starter at least is just equal parts flour and water. And that's it. So that's just a way that I, you know, don't waste flour because flour is going to be the new currency in the new regime, along with gasoline and Pokemon cards, oddly enough. So after COVID is over with, a lot of the economists are saying that flour, toilet paper, they're going to be what is current currency. So save all that up. You know, I want to be a rich person once all this is over, and so I'm saving my flour so I can trade it later, and I'm also keeping all my Pokemon cards so that way I can sell them for, you know, favors, odds and ends, and things like that, and I can build up my empire from there. Let's see. So after I feed my starter, let's see here. Thanks for the plug, but I haven't got any content out lately. I don't have a camera. Oh, Vinny, you gotta get a camera, buddy. Oh, that's right. You actually ended up with my first camera, my Canon T3i, and unfortunately that was stolen from you, wasn't it? Oh, is this the shot of me? Oh, here it is. You guys remember when I said I couldn't find that dough? There it is. There's that shot. Alright, I'll cut this together later. Ah, oh, phew, look at me. I was worried there. I thought I had to reshoot something. No. I just shot everything so out of order that I didn't even know where the hell all my video was. Alright, so, whilst this is rising underneath the towel, I'm going to heat up my oven, grab my Dutch oven, and let's put in a cross dissolve in there. Grab my Dutch oven, put it in the oven. Oh, that wasn't good. I think, what did I do here? It sounds like I whacked my... Ouch. Okay, let's not do that. Took out that rack. Let's cut on action again. Oh, this is a nice little wipe. Let's cut right there. Okay, that all moves very slowly, so let's make that go a little bit quicker. So after that nice little wipe there, I want the very next shot right here to be the Dutch oven coming in. So I am literally going to cut out, what is this, like 10 frames probably? There, that moves a little bit better. And then I'm going to cut to, oh, that's the sound of my oven turning on. So this video here, you know, I'm just looking at the floor because I'm actually getting the audio in there. Thank you, Irisev. I hope that's how I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Irisev. I love your comments. I found the missing dough. I'm so happy that you were as excited as I was. Let's see. So after I put that in the oven, I'm going to let that warm up for 1 hour at 400 degrees. So I let my sourdough bread rise for a long time. So after right here, where it's rising underneath this towel here, I let it rise for like 2.5 hours. Then after 2.5 hours, I get my Dutch oven out. I put it, that's empty by the way, put the Dutch oven in the oven at 450 degrees for an hour. So I let it heat up for a full hour. I do the same thing when I make pizzas here too. So you'll notice at the bottom of my oven here, I've got a pizza stone. If I'm making pizza, I put my pizza stone in the oven at 550 degrees for an hour. So I let it get super duper hot before I put any dough on it. And I'm doing the same thing with my sourdough here too. I want that Dutch oven to be ridiculously hot before I put the bread in there because I want a lot of oven spring from the bread, which, I mean, I'm not a real baker, so I can't really explain the science behind oven spring. But as I understand it, when you put dough in, that first like 10 minutes of baking is where you get the most lift from the dough. So bada bing, bada boom. Let's see, I'm going to put in that there. Hey, Tom. Other Tom. You don't look like... You just have a gray... Who are you, Tom, who just commented at 141? I'm happy that you joined the chat. Welcome. You're one of us now. Let's see, I need a shot of... Oh, this is my wife's graphic design project. Just ignore all these. Let's see here. Oh, actually, I also have some fried rice that I did. So I did another video for fried rice. That'll come out in like a month. There we go. Let's drop that in there. All right, so after I drop in my Dutch oven... That doesn't move very well at all. Let's cut a little bit out. Let's cut right there. Let's see how that works. Take the Dutch oven, put it in the oven, and then let the bread rise for another hour. This is something that'll have a lower third on it, and it'll say let rise for 1 hour. So you let that bread rise for like 3 hours. The sourdough that I make always has weak yeast, so it takes forever to rise. That's my sourdough starter. Again, that's a little sequence that I made where I'm gonna show how I feed my starter. I'm not gonna do that in the stream though. I'm just gonna move on. Let that go, let that heat up. This is me, typing in. Let's put that in. Might as well. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Okay. Let's put that in right... let's put it in right here. I feel like I need another shot in there. So I put in this. 450 degrees. And then I let my bread rise on top of the oven for the next hour. And again, that'll be explained in a lower third. It's just that I don't really want to explain lower thirds here. All right, so these are all... Let's get rid of all these. This is a project that my wife did when she was a graphic designer. This is an album cover, and she was having me take some video of it. I'm just going to delete this from my timeline so it's not confusing me any more than I already am confused. There we go. Okay, so now... Oh, here we go. Now this is the big shot, where after an hour, I come in. Let's have the action start where I'm opening up that door. Okay, lift off the lid. Now, I'm going to cut on this action now of lifting off the lid. So, like, right, boom, there. Okay, I'm going to throw a cross dissolve in between these two shots here. So, if you're watching the sequence here, it's you put that on there, cross dissolve to this, put that there, lift off the lid, and then now I'm cutting on action, so I need to find the rest of that action, which is in this uber wide shot with my 18mm, and yeah, it's like right up against it there. And we're gonna find where I'm taking off that lid, which was right there. Okay, so let's do right there. I kind of moved out before I did anything else. Oh, I'm definitely not doing it very quickly. That's unfortunate. I'm going to just drop that whole thing on my timeline here. And I'm going to... Well, let's see how this cuts together. Shing. That could be better, but I'm just going to leave that as is right now. I'm going to throw a little audio. I throw a 10 frame audio dissolve into like all of my clips as well. And again, that's something that I just do myself. All right, we're getting to the end here now, where I'm just going to bake this and then call it a day. Then I'm going to go play some Legend of Zelda or something. I tried to take that off cool, but that didn't work at all. I tried to, like, just kind of fling off the towel. And as you can see, it didn't work. Let's see here. Let's see, I'm going to have it cut there. Let's have it cut right there while I'm in the middle of this debacle. 5. Great way to get rid of leftovers. Yeah, I love fried rice, especially in quarantine days. I usually am just throwing in just whatever I got. So here's another tip that I got here. Actually, I'll give you guys a little taste. If you stick around, I'll show you some of that fried rice footage. Okay, that's going to go in. That's long. So instead of just dumping in the whole dough, I just lift up the parchment paper by the ends and dump that in. And then I don't burn my fingies. Okay, let's cut right there. That's still too long. I'm just going to eyeball this one. I'm going to cut it right there. And then spritz it. Oh, don't do that. Oh, God, Premiere. What are you doing, Premiere? Okay, that's good enough. I spritz the hell out of it. I like, in my opinion, hydration is the key. Let's stop right there. And then, man, I'm just moving really slowly in this shot. I'm not happy. And I can hear some weird audio in there, so I'm gonna have to play with that later because I dinged my the lid of that Dutch oven on there. All right, get that in there. Open that up. Coop, why are you moving so slow? Yeah, look at how slow I'm moving. Alright, we're going to cut right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, Zelda Breath of the Wild. I love that game. I picked it up again after quarantine started because I was like, well, let's play. I usually don't play a lot of video games, but I've been trying to get back into it because I love Zelda. And I love video games. Okay, now I think... Oh, this is one thing that I didn't get another shot of. Me putting the Dutch oven into there. So I'm gonna have to shoot a shot of that. Let's end with me taking my mitts. Cutting this out. Bye, Tom. Thanks for joining. Okay, put that down. He's probably already gone. All right, we are almost at the end of all this nonsense. I'm going to do a cross dissolve here. Plop that down. Boom, there's the bread. But you know what? It needs a little bit more time, right? That bread does not look as dark and beautiful as I would want it. So, we're going to put it back in. Now, did I get a shot of me putting it in? Yes, I did. So we're going to drop that in, push it in, close the gate. Okay, then I'm going to do another cross dissolve to this shot over here. Okay, then, ooh, that's a good looking shot, but I think I got a better shot. Yeah, there we go. I finally speak! I started doing streams, just, what was that, 2 weeks ago was when I did my first one, and this is actually a lot of fun. I like kind of talking through my process while I do this. There we are. So after you bake the bread at 450 degrees for half an hour inside the Dutch oven, take it out, and it's going to look probably something like this, you know? So that's no good. That's no good. I want a nice golden crust. So put it back. Take off the lid. Keep the lid off, and then keep it baking until it gets nice and golden brown. And after it gets nice and golden brown, which actually right here I'm going to throw in the cross dissolve. You can see my slipper. Oh, that was actually kind of a cool cut. I like that one. All right, let's see here. We gonna get back to this one now. This is the bread. The bread is done. And I'm gonna cut on action here while it's coming in. Nice crinkly wrap for those ASMR folk. Boom. Boom. And that's going to be a hard cut, no dissolves or anything like that. That's kind of the most audio that you're going to get on this one too, is that crinkling wrap there. There's not too much delicious audio in this one. Bread is a very silent thing. So I did a couple of close-up shots of these nice blistery, bread crusts. But I think what I'm going to do is... I think I had a panning shot in here. Oh, there's that fried rice. Is this the panning shot? Did I not do a panning shot? Oh, is this the panning shot? This is the panning shot. Let's throw that in there, because I think that'll look nice for this this feed right now. I gotta represent to those ASMR folk. They're the whole reason people actually watch these things. That's actually a really good pan. I didn't think that was going to look very good. So let's use that. And I'm actually probably going to keep that in the video. I was thinking I was just going to delete it after I got off the stream. But yeah, that's a lovely bake. I probably wouldn't get a handshake from Paul Holiday, but he might like it. Big holes. I like big holes in my bread. I like... gigantic, airy, kind of like a baguette. That's just me. That's just what I like. I don't think everybody likes that. I think like for a sandwich, like stuff is gonna like fall out of that with all these holes. All that mayonnaise is gonna drip out. But hey, you know what? I don't care. That's what I want. All right. So there's a shot of me slicing into this baby. Here it is. Let's cut right here while I'm struggling. Right there. Okay, cut that in there. And we're going to be able to watch the whole thing. So stick around and we're going to watch the whole thing. Let's show this reveal as I'm taking away the bread. Whoop! Hold that for a second, and then we're going to go to the shot. This is just a shot where I kind of looked at the crumb of it. Actually, let's go to this one first. Using my 100mm macro lens, which is by far my favorite lens. Look at that. Look at that. Cut that right there. Then cut to this shot, and then I took a bite. Like a handheld shot there. Take a bite, put it down, and then this is where I'll have like, those end slates on YouTube where it's like, oh, watch the next video or do whatever. All right, 7 people made it to the end of this damn thing. Thank you guys for actually watching. Let's watch this through and see how this looks. This little rough cut here. This is going to be tough to watch because that logo is slowing everything down. But now that the logo's gone, we can actually see this. Yeah, that flower's a little nuclear. It's kind of way too bright. I got to bring that down a little bit. So color grading is the next thing I do. Okay, add in that water. Like I said, this is 400 grams of flour, 285 grams of water, 100 grams of starter, 10 grams of salt. All right, once that comes together, zip that off, put it in the fridge. Rest for 24 to 72 hours. Okay, take it out when you want bread. Put it in the oven, you know, to warm it up. So just turn your oven on for 45 seconds, and it'll be just warm enough to warm it up. Leave it in there for a couple hours. A couple hours later, take it out. Knock it down. A little Jackie Chan karate. Form it into a ball, drop it into a bowl. Cut up some parchment paper. Throw in some flour. Lots of flour. Roll it around in flour. Drop it in. Form it into a loaf. Very nice, very nice. Take a towel, cover it. Boom. All right, let that rise for like 2.5 hours. Take out a Dutch oven, put it in your oven, 450 degrees. Let that warm up for an hour. All right, 1 hour later, take it out. Take off the lid. It's gonna be hot. Don't touch it with your bare hands. It's gonna be hot. Put in the bread. Spritz it a lot with water. Put on that lid. Put it into the oven. Boom. You got bread. All right, that needs to brown a little bit. Put it back in the oven. That ain't done. All right. Mine took like an extra 5 minutes. That's actually a really good cut. I love that cut. Boom, you got bread. Look at that. Boom. Love it. And it came out good. I was actually happy with the way that this one came out. I've made better loaves of bread. And actually, yeah, you might notice I don't score it or anything like that. I just throw it right in, and it kind of, explodes a little bit on the top as it bakes. I don't care. You can definitely score it with a razor blade or a knife or something like that. But again, I'm lazy. This is my lazy everyday bread. So this has been Silently Cooking Sourdough Bread Part 2. Daily Bread Part 2, I should say. Sourdough. And thanks for watching, everybody. We got 7 people left. 7 people actually stuck around through this whole thing. Thanks, guys. And thanks for watching. Irasev, awesome talking to you again. Awesome talking to all you peeps. Wow, I'm actually just scrolling through the chat. Alan LMLN. I believe you were the individual who was chatting to me from Israel. I hope you are doing good. Thanks for watching. I don't know if you're still around. Food Surgeon, thanks for stopping by. That was really fun to see you in here. Vinny, Anthony, thanks for stopping by. This has been a blast and a half. Thanks for stopping by, guys. I think I've said thanks for stopping by enough times now. All right, I'm going to open up OBS and get on out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. This one will be coming out on Monday. And stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.